Welcome, everybody, to the Rebelle Rally live show presented by Toyota. We are here the start of day 3, but also the start of day 2 of a marathon leg. We are still in northern Nevada, but we are going to head south today as we get into what Emily Miller says we're going to be some really tough driving and some tough navigating. I'm Emmy Hall, and as always, is with me my good friend Matthew Johnson. Matthew, how you doing this fine morning?
Hey, good morning, Emmy. Doing great, actually. It's a bit warmer. We've come south a bit, so it's nice. It's another beautiful background, and the teams are up and organizing here in the dark when we got here this morning, and seem to be in great moods and ready to get going here on day 2.
Yep, they are going to start today with an On-Time Enduro. Then they are going to be headed south to our second base camp. We will be in that second base camp for 2 nights, which is always nice for us, before we move on to another marathon stage and then our final base camp. So we've got all of our folks here lined up, ready to go. They do have a specific start time, so we are just waiting for all of those to get on the move, and then we will not see them for the rest of the day.
Yeah, we've had cars off the line since 7 o'clock this morning, local time, and they'll be leaving the line until 8:04 this morning, so 1 a minute, rolling out.
Yeah.
Starting an Enduro, and I believe this is the last on-time Enduro, maybe for the event.
I can't believe that. I mean, we won't know until every morning. We don't know until every morning. But today we are sponsored by Fox Trail Trust, which is this really cool initiative that Fox has got that helps to deliver sustainable adventure to everyone. They do that by trail building and maintenance. They advocate for responsible recreation, and they want to expand access to people who maybe don't have as much access that we are lucky enough to be able to get.
That's really cool. And do they have like a decent budget to do some work here?
They do. So far, they've got $2 million out there. They're partnering with other nonprofits like Tread Lightly and Friends of Oceano Dunes for Pismo Beach, Warfighter Made, Grit Fest, and by 2030, they want to invest $10 million American dollars.
Wow, that's great. And that gets more people out to enjoy the trail and then also educates the people who are current users on how they could behave a little differently and make a big impact.
Exactly. And they actually have a team out here, Team 154. They are out here representing the Fox Trail Trust. They are the Fox Trail Trust team. And their driver there is their Fox-supported athlete, Kristen Matlock, who races with UTVs. And she goes out and she Ironmans the Baja 1000. She has a navigator, but she does drive the whole thing.
The whole thing in a UTV.
She's out of her mind.
Yeah.
Out of her mind.
She's. I read some of her competition background and was like, wow.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Like, she's going to be doing something different here at the Rebelle than she usually does.
And the Fox Trail Trust, for that team, her navigator is a Fox engineer, so that's pretty cool too. So we've got a racer and an engineer in 154.
Oh, and it's just so cool to have folks that are involved in the suspensions that are on a lot of these vehicles out here in the with us.
Seeing how it goes.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's take a look at some of the results that we've got going on here. So right now, this is the 4x4 results, and I need to put my glasses on because I can't see this.
Yeah, standings overall. I mean, obviously, it's no surprise to see Nina and Tara Lynn there at the top, but Shelby and Rory had an amazing day yesterday. They are 1 point behind here after the finish of 2 days of full competition, and Rasa and Leeway are right there. Followed by Sam and Becky in the Total Chaos Tacoma this year.
And then in the X-Cross class, again, those are our crossovers. So those are vehicles without a 2-speed transfer case. We've got Carrie Lando and Andrea Schaefer are sitting in first place, followed by Melissa Clark and Catherine Reinhardt in second, and Rebecca Donaghy and Cindy Wade in the BMW X3 M50. Those are in third. But again, we have not added those. I don't think we've added the marathon scores yet. So at the end of the day, I think we're going to see some shakeups there.
We certainly will, but there's a healthy margin already for Carrie Landau and Andrea Schaefer.
There is.
They're doing well out
there. The scores right now are really close in 4x4, but they are separated a little bit more in the X-Cross. So, it's always so like scary and nerve-wracking because like I want all my friends to do good, but like I want the rookies to do good, and I want the privateers to do well. And, It's just so much fun.
Well, Melissa Clark there in second last year, 2 years winning on the trot in X-Cross.
Yeah,
Definitely got to be waking up and be like, oh, we got some work to do.
Like, oh, Carrie, the Mountain Subi's got it.
Of course, they don't know that yet. They'll find that out tonight.
Right. Well, I believe that we have Katie out here on the line, such as it is this morning. So, Katie, when you please give me a good interview. Oh, sorry.
Slow down, Kramer. You don't have to
Katie,
run.
go ahead.
I'm over here, Kramer, darling. Oh, my goodness. This is too much for poor Kramer. Okay. You right, mate? Okay. Lizzie and Avis. Good morning.
Good morning.
We just had the most wonderful chat. These two have done the Rebelle before, and they've recapped, teamed up together this year. And one of the key things they wanted to work on was understanding their vehicle more. And talk to me a little bit about how you've achieved that.
So we've changed out the tires. So the two of us got together. She brought the truck to me in Montana, and we had all the parts shipped to there and basically pulled everything apart. We did the Total Chaos upper control arms. It needed new lower control arms. We put the Elka suspension on front and rear, the Duro bumps, we replaced a brake calipers, brake pads.
So what you're telling me is pretty much every sticker I can see on this vehicle is your partner, and you have got your hands on their gear and put it into your vehicle or adjusted it at some time.
Exactly. Yeah, we even put the Baja fog lights on. We didn't do all the lights ourselves because we need to learn more about wiring. But it was just really important to us coming out of the rally last year. Both of us discussed that we wanted to know how our vehicle worked and get our hands on it and understand the tools and stuff better. So.
Yeah. And the cool-out rack, we put that all together and lifted that onto the truck ourselves as well, too.
Yeah, we learned a lot. It was hard. It took us way more days and way more time than we thought because we're not mechanics and we understand that. But
it's so important. You understand your third teammate. I just think it's part of the evolution of being a Rebelle, right? If you come in and you don't know your vehicle, you just don't feel as grounded as you could. And so I love that you've leaned into that. And then you also said that some months or days ago you didn't feel like you might be able to compete. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, we were working on training in Johnson Valley and had a little mishap during our day, and that landed us into the body shop about 30 days out with the predicament of they were telling us it was about 4 weeks of work. So 30 days is about 4 weeks. Troy is all
Yesterday, she didn't know.
they felt our situation and they did us right.
Awesome. Well, I'm just really stoked to have learned all of this and love the fact that they understand their vehicle. And like I said, all these partners on their vehicle, they've got their hands dirty and they understand how it all works. So I'm going to send you back to Emmy and Matthew, Emmy and Emily. Take it away, ladies.
Thank you so much, Katie. Well, we are actually going to pay a few bills here, and I will be right back with the grand jefe of the Rebelle Rally, Ms. Emily Miller. Let's roll those commercials, baby.
Since 1913, we've been all in on providing unbeatable engine protection so Alex can go all out in the toughest conditions. Pennzoil, long may we drive.
I was the first woman to solo drive the longest off-road race in the country, and I can tell you that the desert Southwest is like nowhere else I've seen. As you're looking at the map, you get so in touch with it, the features on the map start to rise up. You drive down these roads and hike these trails. It takes me back to a location. We want things that connect us. To me, that's what the sandstone does.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Rebelle Rally Live, presented by Toyota. As I said, I am here with El Grand Jefe, Emily Miller. Now, Emily, we are leaving Nevada. Things are getting tight. Tell me all about it. What's going on today?
Okay. I'm not really surprised that the scores are so close.
Okay.
As I mentioned in one of the morning briefings, the last few days have been absolute hero driving by design. You know, we're very careful about curating the course and experience, really kind of bringing them into the mindset of the rally, but letting them have a lot of fun on these really pristine Nevada roads. So yesterday was big driving, beautiful scenery, the kind of terrain that you just go, I could do this forever. Do I ever have to go back to my day job? And I expected the scores to be very close and tight because everything flowed. If you had plotted your points correctly, you were on time on your enduros, you were going to have a really great score. Things will probably be similar today, but then we get to the halfway point. We have, 5 more days of competition. Tomorrow, things are going to get real, and it is going to be different. Yes, it's gonna really get harder. You're going to be in more open OHV areas. It's going to be rougher. They've gotten used to just like glory roads. They're going to have to really restrain themselves, really pay attention, and take care of their cars. And I think they're kind of going into it thinking, this is smooth and great. They're going to have to really pay attention.
So what you're saying is hang on to your butts. It's about to get nuts.
It's about to get real.
I'm so excited. This is amazing. Well, let's start talking through today. I know that we've got our overview graphic here coming up that just gives us a general overview of where they are going. We are, of course, headed down to Base Camp 2, which, where, can we say where that is?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, where
it's
is it?
Dumont Dunes.
Yeah, buddy!
Yeah, and we've had marathon finishes and self-camps there, but we have never had a dune base camp there. So I'm really excited. Beautiful place right at the edge of Death Valley. Today is going to be a very long day. And they have, I believe, 10 and a half hours to complete the day. Let's go to the Mapbox graphic here. And, love these 3D graphics because
so
you can
good.
see it so well. They're starting here in Ash Springs. They are headed east and then running up through these really great canyons that they came back through yesterday at the end of the day.
Okay.
And right there, they're in this unbelievable Joshua Tree forest. This is a over 50-kilometer long enduro.
Oh my
gosh. It is
gosh.
the last on-time enduro.
Of the whole rally?
It is, yes.
Oh,
it is
wow.
so fun. That driving is amazing. Now they're on the pavement. Over to your right, you can see those beautiful mountains. As they're headed down the pavement, I don't like to get people out on pavement, but we are driving around today the National Wildlife Preserves, and we're driving around 2 of them. They are headed right now toward Las Vegas. If you looked at a map, they're kind of cutting around. They're going to be cutting back up to the north and bypassing this. Emmy, I don't like to bypass great off-road trails, but the reason why is we have been working with the Desert National Wildlife Preserve and Ash Meadows Wildlife Preserve and really getting to understand the problems and the pressures that are on the wildlife. And yes, the appropriate way to go through the wildlife preserves is, let's say, with 10, maybe 12 cars, going to learn about the wildlife, going to see these amazing places, but not pressuring.
Right.
And the rally, even though it's not a race for speed, as we worked with the authorities, we got to understand their problems, improper use, illegal use, etc. And so we worked with them and said, yes, we should not be in there. So now what they've done, they've gone around the wildlife preserves. They've gone to an area called Crystal, which is now in Nevada. They have a series of checkpoints in that area. They get back on the pavement. Then they're heading right over to Death Valley. And it is beautiful, big scenery. They've got easy checkpoints, but they are black diamonds. Then they are dropping around just to the east of Shoshone, coming over Jubilee Pass, dropping down back in. They go out of Death Valley, back into Death Valley near the Ibex Dunes. Absolutely beautiful. And then they're going to be turning on the Harry Wade Trail and going to Dumont Dunes, entering the area by Little Dune. Once they get through there, you can see them. That route shows them going down the pavement. Some of them will be in a hurry, and they will be had a long day. They're getting to base camp by the pavement. However, there are a couple of checkpoints right there in what we consider the small dunes. No one knows this yet. I don't even believe the staff, but we have a special Jimmy Lewis navigation challenge.
No, the patented Jimmy Lewis navigational challenge.
Yes, and I'm so excited because this is an area where he trains the top riders and drivers in the world for the Dakar. And so they have a very special challenge. I'm not going to tell anybody about it yet.
Oh, I'm
but
so
it's
excited.
really going to test how much people understand and know without their tools, how they understand heading and, direction, distance, etc., without relying on those tools.
All right. Well, we will make sure that we've got some cameras out there to record some frustrations and some victories, I am sure. Well, we've got some teams are already out on the road. Some teams are still getting ready, tightening down their max tracks, getting packed up, getting organized so that they can get on the road for this nearly 500-kilometer stage. Man, look at 102 has got so much gear up on the roof. Woo, that is a lot of gear. And of course, I love that new Defender there. And our Broncos, we have so many great Broncos of both the regular and the Sasquatch and Bronco Raptor as well. We've got people leaving the line on an On-Time Enduro. I'm sure they're very happy that it is the last one of the rally, although they don't know. But speaking of an Enduro, Emily, we're going to have a graphic up here. Well, let's talk a little bit about this Enduro format because it is a little bit challenging. It's a little different.
Yeah, excuse me, too much Nevada silt in my lungs today. So the Enduro challenges, and they are traditionally considered like time, speed, distance challenges.
Okay.
In the Rebelle Rally, though, we kind of spun it around. And now instead of being lowest score, it's actually highest score. So they are trying to nail their timing. And at the timing controls, either what we consider a known control or a hidden control, all of them are signed. So
Okay.
there are no secrets out there. But they have to nail them on time, and they actually get highest points for nailing those timing controls on time. Today is a little different. We have actually 5 timing controls.
That's a lot.
This is it's worth 30
Yeah.
points today.
That is a lot.
So
That
they
is a
have
lot.
to be on their game. I believe there are 2 hidden controls. That means they need to be on time throughout the entire Enduro. And being so long, the last Enduros have been easier, fun, but easier.
Okay.
Today, we'll see how those points shake out.
Yeah. And then, of course, we also have the On-Route Enduros. Those are road books where they're not specifically worried about time, but they still have some black checkpoints so that they have time to stop, maybe triangulate a little bit and get on there. Accuracy is still key for those, but it's also a way to move them down the road in a thoughtful manner so that everybody stays together.
Yes, and it actually allows us to show land management agencies that we can keep people en route, keep them from going into wilderness areas, going into places that are sensitive where they shouldn't be, but also sometimes it gives them a chance to just breathe, the drivers and navigators. Just follow the instruction. You don't have to make any decisions. Just do what the road book says. But we can cover long distances quickly without speeding.
Right.
And it also enables teams to really understand traditional rally. So they walk away with all these skills to be able to maybe go try their hand at some other rallies.
Yes, absolutely. There are some other navigational rallies. We have the Nora rallies, the Sonora rallies. All of those will use a Dakar-style road book, and I am dying to get into one of those. Emily Miller, thank you so much for joining us today. Looks like that is one of the Ineos Grenadiers that
Yes,
got its hood up. Hopefully they are just trying to clean it up a little bit, get all of that silt out. Christy Seville in the number 170. We've talked a little bit about those Ineos cars. They use a BMW powertrain, but they look a lot like a Mercedes G-Wagon or a Land Rover Defender. But man, look at the opening of that gate. That's pretty cool.
Here's what I love about that car. I've had the chance to drive them, and you get in, and it's like being in an
like a cockpit.
Yes, in a cockpit.
Yeah.
I haven't had enough coffee yet. But yes, and it's very well thought out. And I believe you see them a lot now, and we see them a lot in Southern California. And I think people really appreciate the thought that has gone into every single design component in this vehicle. I mean, one thing I want to say quickly is that I am so impressed right now. We are living in a moment where the manufacturers are making great off-road vehicles. We have many more choices than we used to. Back, 10, 15 years ago, there were a couple of options.
Right.
Now there are many options. And I just have to applaud the manufacturers for really taking the time and listening to people and making great cars.
That's awesome. Emily, again, thank you so much for joining us. I know you have a busy day to get out and be doing all your head honcho Hefe stuff. We've got cars leaving the line here. Look at that gorgeous sunrise, gorgeous dust coming off the back of what I think is a Jeep Gladiator. It's tough to tell there in the shadows. We are here live at the Rebelle Rally out here in the middle of nowhere. The sun is coming up. It is going to be a gorgeous day. And I believe we have some stuff from Katie. Is that correct? All right. Momentarily, we're getting Katie ready here. So on this marathon stage, Matthew asked me earlier, what's your strategy for the second day of the marathon? And I said, just get through the day. All you want to do is get back to base camp, have some good food, and set up your tent so that you've got 2 days where you don't have to move around. All right, I believe that Katie is ready for us now. So, Katie, who are you talking to right now?
Well, Matthew said to us yesterday, Emmy, when we were having our little debriefing, you got to find these two really badass lawyers. And I found them, Team 177, Law and Disorder, Shirley and Lacey. This here, hold on, ladies. Can you describe your logo on the side? Lady Justice, right?
Yes, the inspiration is Lady Justice, and she holds the scales of justice in one hand, and instead of the sword, she's holding a wrench, and she's wearing a helmet and goggles. So she's our Lady Wheeler.
So there's the helmet and goggles, wrench, and what's on the scales on the other side?
Those are the scales of justice that Lady Justice always holds.
So that
Lacey drew it. This is all Lacey's.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Creative and lawyers. And they're both so excited that their family and friends can see proof of life. So what do you want to say? What do you want to say to them back at home, Shirley?
Oh, love you, Jim. Love you, I and Keiko. I'm having a blast, but I hope you guys are too at home.
Hi, family. I'm glad I'm not getting you up for school right now.
Now, I love your name, Law and Disorder. And I think, Lacey, you said that you were organised. No, Shirley, you were organised because you were sorting out the back seat. How's the teamwork here in terms of both being lawyers? What are your roles?
I think it's been going well. Lacey is great at navigating, so she takes over all the plotting and routing, and I'm really good at following directions, so I've been driving those parts, but she takes the lead on driving for our Enduros.
Nice. Well, I'm so glad I finally got to meet you. We were literally saying yesterday, we've got to go and find those lawyers. So, Matthew, I found them. Now, we're going to head down quickly and talk to the sisters. Thank you. Have a great day out there. I found two sisters. Oh, they've driven away. We're probably going to have to go back to you guys because they've just driven away because we are on a rally and they need to go and run the day. So, will these guys stop for us? Oh, of course they will. Hi, ladies. It's our captains. Are you rushing or can you say a quick hello?
We could say a quick hello.
Okay, go for it. How are you feeling?
We're feeling pretty good. We had probably the best night's sleep we've had so far, but we're desperately looking forward to showers tonight at the next base camp.
All right, I'm not going to keep you. Off you go.
Cheers.
But what I am going to do is talk to Ryan quietly. Rich. It's early, Rich. Rich is one of our incredible directors and producers of Dead Reckoning, and we've all watched it, and it is such an incredible show. And if you go onto the Rebelle Rally website, you will be able to really understand the Rebelle from that. Can you just, I know you're in the middle of your job, but can you just give us a quick rundown on Dead Reckoning?
Yeah, we just wanted to make something that was authentic to the rally and really showcase how difficult it is and what they're actually experiencing. And I think that's kind of hard to encapsulate in like a 30-second pitch or something like that. So it was just a good way to showcase it in a bunch of different ways and talk about the different people that are involved.
You nailed it. You absolutely nailed it. We're also proud of that show, and if you haven't seen it, go on to rebellerally.com and check out Dead Reckoning, because these guys are very talented. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. Okay, back to you, Matthew and Emmy.
Thanks, Katie. We are back here in the booth checking out some awesome drone footage there, as you've been seeing a lot of so far. That was a great chat you had there with Emily.
Yeah, Emily Miller's always got a lot to say, obviously. Even when you're not talking about the Rebelle Rally, Emily is a big chatter, which is so much fun.
It is. Well, she with a lot of experience in off-road here over a lot of years. Obviously a former competition driver, driving all kinds of off-road events herself for speed. I'm told that we had a social comment come in, just curious about our checkpoints, right? We've got our greens, our blues, and our black diamond checkpoints. I didn't see exactly what it was about, but let's talk about black diamond checkpoints.
Yeah, someone was curious about how the competitors get to those black diamond checkpoints if they're not marked. So here's what you do. You are going to start from a known point, and you will measure from that known point. Usually it's another checkpoint or it's an intersection, something that you actually are very, very sure of exactly where you are.
On your map.
On your map, correct. And then you will go ahead and measure from that point to where you have plotted your black diamond checkpoint. Then you will drive that distance. Then you will start looking at the features and figuring out exactly where that is. Maybe it's good enough to just go off of the distance on your odometer. Maybe you will need to triangulate. But that is how you will figure it out. If you triangulate, you mark those lines on your map that you've triangulated off of, then you can do a measurement and say, oh, we're right on it, or oh, we need to move 50 meters to the north or 30 meters to the south or whatever. And most teams have paced out what 50 meters is walking, so they know.
And so real quick to finish that up, there's a radius, right? And if you're in the middle of the radius, you get maximum points. And then a little bit offset there, you get lower and lower points until you get a wide miss. But I'm told we've got Katie ready, and I don't want to keep her waiting. We can go on about black diamond checkpoints for way too long. So let's jump over to Katie.
You can't keep us waiting when all these cars are driving away. I'm here with Carla and Heather, and I said to them they can just drive away in the middle of the interview. But quickly, how are you feeling?
We're feeling great, but we're also feeling like this is going to be a really challenging day.
Well, that's good. See, your expectations high.
Of course it's high.
Now talk to me a little bit about what running on empty means.
Okay, it's a double entendre. So, we feel like we're in this Tacoma. It's challenging. We have a smaller tank, so we'll probably be running on empty. And then secondly, this really is a game of endurance. We feel like at day 3, especially day 4, we're going to be running on empty.
We all will be. Hey, well, you have a great time out there. I'm not going to keep you for another second. I know you need to get to the beginning of this enduro.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Running on empty is actually the name of my favourite movement. Now, let's quickly see if I go out of range. They're going to yell at me. If we can have a chat to 119 before they drove away. Louisa, I know you're rushing out, but do you have 30 seconds?
Certainly.
How are you going?
We're doing good. How are you?
Good. So you're in the middle of the marathon. How does that feel?
Good.
Halfway done.
Almost halfway.
Halfway to a base camp.
Yeah. Now, quickly, I would like to know a little bit about your rap. I know it has meaning to both of you, so can you help us out and tell us the background behind it?
Our charity? Yeah. Boarding for breast cancer. Go ahead, you know more. You're better at this.
It's a charity that was started by a bunch of pro snowboarders who were diagnosed very early on. And their goal is to really get women back out there doing, outdoors and things to get their body moving and feel good about themselves after they've come back from cancer. And it's just a charity that means a lot to us. We're very involved in the snow world. And after Lou was diagnosed last year and having her last chemo treatment last December, she called me and said, "We got to do this." And I said, "Hell yes, we do." So we partnered with them to do this.
There's my goosebumps for the day. That's really freaking fantastic.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, well, you two go out there and crush it, and I look forward to talking to you more about this charity back at base camp.
Thanks, guys.
You have a great day too. That's a great story. All of us, I think, have been affected by breast cancer in some way or another, and when teams come out here and they driving for a charity. It's really beautiful. Melly, are you looking for us? I need to ask you a question. Oh, is it a question that you can ask me on live? Absolutely not. She said, all right, back to Emmy and Matthew.
Have a great day.
All right. Thanks a lot, Katie. Always great to hear from these teams as they're starting the rest of their marathon here. We're going to bring in some social comments. We'll read a few, but just, you want to get your comment up on the screen. Remember, participate with us. Send us some questions.
That's right. You can follow us at Rebelle Rally across all the socials. Our Instagram is lit, I am telling you. Facebook is really great, as well as YouTube. YouTube, you can see our Dead Reckoning documentary, which is a lot of fun. So make sure that you guys keep those comments coming. Go, what does that say? Go, friends, go. Curious Mountain Toy Works for life. For life. Oh, Mountain Toy Wolves, sorry, for life. Have a great day, ladies. Team 120. Team 120 is one of our rookie teams that did really well on the very first day. But they had a little bit of trouble yesterday, so we're hoping to see them come back up in the ranks after today's competition.
We're always voting for rookie teams. We love to see them do well, and it's nice to see how the training pays off.
Yeah, the training really does pay off. I haven't done a training in a long time, and I'm gonna take some this upcoming year. I think it's gonna be fun.
I love this one. So true, Emily. I could do this forever, from relating to the comment earlier.
I mean, I'm not sure I could do this forever, but, So, yes, please keep all of that coming. I believe that comment there was from Chris Vockler, a former competitor who was supposed to be here this year.
I'm not ready to call Chris a former competitor.
Well, you're right.
You need to get your butt back here, Chris.
Exactly. Chris, we miss you. Come back next year. We totally missed your jive.
Yeah. A couple more shots of vehicles leaving the line as we are going to be seeing them next down in the
Dumont Dunes.
Sand.
In the sand. Now, what's great about Dumont Dunes is there's like a little tiny area of dunes, and then there's some bigger dunes. But people might think that little dunes are easier to drive, but that is 100% not true. You can really get stuck in those little dunes because it's tough to get enough momentum to get through all of that, right? Because you really have to watch your speed. On the bigger dunes, you can just hammer up, hammer down. You've got more time to make a decision.
It's the looking. You need to make a plan in the dune, and when you're on a big dune, you're looking. You've got two plans. If one doesn't work, you've got to bail out. In the little dunes, you're having to make choices faster than you can actually problem solve.
Yeah, it's very easy to stuff your front end in the little dunes. Ask me how I know.
What do we call those little dunes sometimes?
They're the shitty dunes.
They are. And if you've driven in them, you'll know what we mean.
All right. And again, we have Katie out here getting people, talking to people as they start their on-time enduro. Katie, rolling to you.
Hey, I'm here with Ashley, 3-time Rebelle and 5-time staff member. What are you doing today? Fill us in on what it looks like to be a Rebelle on staff.
Oh, it's amazing. It's my favorite, actually. I'm working on the start and finish today and make sure all the ladies get off and starting their enduro on time.
And talk a little bit about, to the people at home, what our rally's like. Like, the live crew has their own rally. We're in the middle of one right now. And the girls have their own rally. And then what is it like to be on your own staff rally? What team are you on? Course, right?
Yeah, I'm on course. I'm also VIP relations as well. Yeah. I would say just extreme problem solving. There's issues that come up all the time. So we have a really good 4-person team for start and finish. So we had a situation this morning where we're down one person, so we're just trying to make it all work. And we have our comms and everything highlighted to make sure we know that everyone's in order.
Perfect. And I know when we get down to our third base camp, you take care of all the VIPs that come into base camp, which is a big job in itself.
It is a big job, yeah, for sure. Making sure that they feel comfortable. Some people have never been to the desert before, so making sure that they're hydrated is a big thing.
Hold on. Let's see if we can will they stop? That's called a blow-by. Oh, do you want... No, go. No. That's an absolute no way. You know, this is the Rebelle Rally, and we have no business keeping the teams from the beginning of the Enduro. So when you're at the end of a marathon or halfway through a marathon, we don't have a start line and a finish line like we do back at base camp. And so we are grabbing what we can get today, which has actually been pretty interesting for me. Back to you, Emmy and Matthew. How's it going on set?
Thank you so much, Katie. Awesome. So again, today, sponsored by Fox Trail Trust, we have some discounts available on Fox products, do we not, Emmy?
Yeah, we sure do. So if you use code Rebelle30, you will get 30% off at ridefox.com, but that's only through October 20th. And you guys, you can use this. We now have confirmation. You can use this on bicycle products, apparel, tailgate pads, anything that is offered on ridefox.com. So even if you're not looking for vehicle shocks, you can still use that. So that is code Rebelle30 at ridefox.com. And you know, the RideFox, the Trail Trust program is not just for the Rebelle Rally. They also have a team out at King of the Hammers. Now, if you haven't been to King of the Hammers, that is a really fun race for speed out in the rocks in Johnson Valley. And they have teamed in the 4600 class with racer Jason Shearer, who is, first of all, he's really cool, and he is really, really good. So look for that vehicle out there as well. And, of course, we have Team 154, Kristen Matlock and Ashley Ballas here representing Fox Trail Trust here at the Rebelle Rally.
Well, you've seen how today is going to go for us, and you heard a little bit from Emily that she started the event with a lot of fun, flowy, nice roads, and then she says tomorrow it's about to get real. Real hard, she says, a lot harder than it has been. You know, before we jump out of here, let's talk a little bit about the Rebelle giveaway. If you've been looking across that site, you may have noticed you can get some camping equipment. Big Agnes has $1,200 of items you could come away with. The camp chairs and covers. Man, having nice camp chairs is so clutch.
Yeah, it really is. I did not bring my camp chair because I packed in about 20 seconds, and I'm like, you're an idiot. You didn't bring a chair.
The insulated sleeping mat, irreplaceable if you need to sleep on the ground. Another sleeping pad and some other Big Agnes swag. But if you don't know the brand Big Agnes, they make really nice quality camping materials.
Of course, you can also go to Total Chaos. Has got some swag for y'all. We love Total Chaos. I run Total Chaos on my 2015 Chevrolet Colorado. They're known for their Toyota products, but they do have products for other vehicles as well, so be sure to check them out. And, of course, what do we have here on screen? We've got someone doing jumping jacks to get their blood warmed up. I love it. You go. You get that exercise in, girl. You get it.
It wakes your brain up. Movement is good for you, especially when you're going to sit in the car a lot of the day. I love it. That's wise.
Absolutely.
I could just say something really quick for you Pennzoil fans or maybe NASCAR fans that are also looking at this. You'll see in the giveaway we've got 2 Pennzoil Joey Logano signed championship die-cast, some hats and some other Speedway water bottles and some cool things, maybe for some other race fans that pay attention to Pennzoil.
Yo, what's pavement racing? Is that really a thing? People race on the pavement?
Turns out.
Oh, all right. Oh, okay. I guess they do that. All right. Well, this has been our morning show here in the beautiful, just outside of Alamo, Nevada. Of course, tonight we are going to have another finish line for you live from Dumont Dunes. That is going to start at 5:30 tonight on Monday, October 14th. That is California time, of course. We've had a wonderful time hanging out with you guys this morning. We are going to bust a move down to Dumont Dunes. And remember, today, tomorrow, it's going to get nuts, right, Matthew?
It's going to get real, and I love the just like sneaky smile Emily has when she says it.
Oh, dude, she knows it. She's like, my plan is coming together. Thank you so much for spending your bit of your morning with us. I'm Emmy Hall with Matthew Johnson. We will see you later. This is Rebelle Rally Live, partnered by Toyota.
now your action weather broadcast. We've got shifting weather conditions on the horizon. Expect high winds, scattered thunderstorms, cold fronts, and dense fog. It's a wild one out there.
Toyota trucks. Let's go places.